Please. I can't walk, the words came out between sobs, trembling in the cold rain as she sat on the side of the broken road, her designer heels discarded, her ankle twisted. The woman who once commanded boardrooms and made grown men nervous now looked small, lost, human. And the man who stopped his rusty pickup beside her had no idea his life was about to change forever. He didn't recognize her at first, not as her, the CEO of the billion-dollar company that had fired him 6 months ago. To him, she was just a woman in pain. So he did what he always did, he helped. He lifted her gently, his hands rough from years of labor, and whispered, "Don't worry, ma'am. I've got you." But that night would become the turning point neither of them saw coming. The rain hadn't stopped for hours, and the road to the city was nearly deserted. Emma Reynolds, once the invincible CEO of Viridian Tech, had just watched her car hydroplane into a ditch. Her driver had gone for help, but it had been nearly an hour, and she couldn't feel her leg. She tried calling someone, anyone, but the signal flickered, like her will. For years she had been unstoppable, ruthless, efficient, feared. She built empires and shattered glass ceilings, but now, she couldn't even stand when the pickup truck pulled over, its headlights cutting through the rain. She almost didn't look up. Then she heard a voice, steady, deep, tired but kind, "You okay there?" She blinked, squinting through the downpour. He was tall, wearing a soaked denim jacket, his hair plastered to his forehead. There was something old about his eyes, like he'd lived 100 lifetimes in 30-something years. I can't walk," she said, her voice breaking. "Please, I can't." He didn't ask questions. He just moved. His hands were strong but gentle as he lifted her, wrapping his jacket around her shoulders. He carried her to his truck, apologizing for the mess inside, crumpled lunchboxes, children's drawings, and the faint smell of coffee. She noticed the car seat in the back. "You have kids?" she asked softly as he drove. "Yeah," he said. "One. Just me and her." He didn't elaborate, and she didn't push. The hum of the engine was oddly comforting. When they reached the nearest town, the clinic was already closed. He insisted on taking her home to treat her ankle until morning. She wanted to refuse, but she was shivering, exhausted, and the pain had become unbearable. His home was small but warm, full of life. Toys scattered across the floor, a worn couch, a hand-drawn "Welcome Home, Dad" sign taped to the fridge. Then a little girl ran out, her curls bouncing. "Daddy," she squealed, then froze when she saw Emma. "Hey, sweetheart," he said gently. "This lady hurt her leg. She's staying the night." The girl, Lila, tilted her head. "Did you fall down?" Emma managed a smile. "Something like that." Lila fetched a blanket, wrapping it around her without hesitation. It had unicorns on it. Emma felt something she hadn't felt in years, kindness without reason. Later, when Lila was asleep, Emma sat at the table while the man, Jack, tended to her ankle. He worked carefully, every touch mindful. "You don't talk much," she said. He smiled faintly. "When you've lost a lot, you learn to listen instead." "Lost?" she asked. "My wife. 3 years ago. Car accident." His voice didn't shake. "Since then, it's just been me and Lila." She looked away, guilt twisting in her stomach. She had signed hundreds of contracts, fired dozens of people, made hard decisions for profit, but never once had she stopped to listen. When he brought her tea, she noticed his hands again. Calloused, strong, honest hands. The kind that built, not destroyed. She didn't sleep much that night. Not from pain, but from thought. By morning, she found Lila already awake, drawing on the kitchen floor. "I made you something," the girl chirped. It was a picture of 3 people holding hands, a man, a woman, and a little girl. "That's you." Emma's throat tightened. "Thank you, sweetheart." Jack drove her back to the city later that day. She offered him money. He refused. "Just promise me you'll be okay," he said simply. She nodded, but as his truck disappeared into the distance, she knew she wasn't. Not yet. Weeks passed. Emma returned to work, her ankle healed but her heart uneasy. She tried to focus, but the boardroom suddenly felt colder. Numbers, reports, meetings, they all seemed hollow. She kept thinking of Jack and Lila, of the little house filled with warmth that no wealth could buy. Then came the breaking point. A report crossed her desk. Layoffs. Hundreds. Including the maintenance team, the same department Jack had worked in before Viridian downsized. Her hand trembled. The old Emma would have signed it without blinking. But now, she couldn't. She stood up, left her glass office, and walked out. No driver, no assistant, just her. She found herself on the road again, heart pounding. When she reached Jack's house, Lila opened the door. "Miss Emma," she cheered. "Daddy's outside fixing the fence." Jack looked up, surprised. "You found us." "I had to," she said. "I needed to thank you. And I need your help." He frowned. "My help?" "Yes. To build something real. I've been running a company that forgot about people like you, people who make the world work. I want to change that. I can't do it alone." For a long moment, he said nothing. Then, quietly, "You really mean that?" She nodded. "Please. I can't walk this path alone." He smiled then, the same gentle smile from that rainy night. "Then let's walk it together." Months later, Viridian Tech changed forever. The company became known for its employee-led projects, community programs, and fair wages. The media called it the miracle turnaround. But to Emma, it wasn't a miracle. It was humanity rediscovered, and every Friday evening, when the city lights dimmed, she'd drive out of town to a small house with a wooden fence, where a little girl waited with a drawing in her hands and a man who reminded her what strength truly meant, because sometimes, you have to fall, completely, to learn how to walk again, and sometimes, the person who helps you up isn't a hero, just someone who remembers how to care.